The Southwest Coast Path is one of the world's best-loved walks. At 630 miles, it's also England's longest national trail. It's not for the faint-hearted. This can be challenging walking. But boy, is it worth it! I'm Paul Rose, and I've explored the world. But although I love the Southwest Coast, I've never actually walked its path. Until now. In this series, I'll be discovering adventure at every turn. Wow! We're flying, buddy! How big of a cliff is it?
High enough to make your knees wobble.
I'll be discovering wildlife and wild traditions. Now that's what you call an entrance. This is where land and sea collide. It really is the walk of a lifetime. In this episode, I'll be exploring the coastline of East Devon and Dorset on a walk through time as the coast path cuts through some 185 million years of the Earth's history. I'm starting at Beer Head in Devon with its distinctive white cliffs. These are the most westerly chalk cliffs in England, and to understand more about them, I'm going to have to tear myself away from the coastal path and head underground. The limestone in the cliffs at Beer Head has been one of our most highly prized building materials since the Roman times. For almost 2,000 years, it was quarried here at Beer Quarry Caves.
And the nearest they got a bit of machinery was a crane.
Today, John Scott runs the caves as a museum. This whole thing is so unexpected, especially that thing. That's the last thing I expected to see at the entrance.
Unique, mustn't it? This church window was actually carved down here in 58 pieces by candlelight in the spring of 1492.
And that is a great example of how fine this beer stone can be carved, isn't it?
Oh yes, because it's got no fossil remains in it. It's ideal for very fine detailed carving. But when you take it outside, it dries a creamy white and becomes 5 times harder.
And whereabouts is beer stone now?
Well, you can find it in Westminster Abbey, Tower of London, Hampton Court, Windsor Castle, and 24 cathedrals.
So Beer Village is, you know, sort of the home of cathedrals, really.
Well, they often say that it's a birthplace of cathedrals.
I'd love to see how the stone is extracted, John.
Well, let's take you down to one of the old working faces and see exactly how it would be done.
Thank you very
What
much.
was quarried, yeah?
Over the centuries, 75 acres of space was carved out from Beer Caves, entirely by hand. It feels like a vast underground cathedral, but for the quarrymen who created it, working conditions were hell. Well, I'm glad we were together because it's a long walk round here and I absolutely definitely would have been lost.
There's no way you can stand in this place and appreciate the sheer physical size.
And every single bit of it by hand.
Cut out by hand. There's never any machinery was used here at all.
It's like a monument to just plain hard graft,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah.
But how did they do it? How did they actually cut this stuff?
It was an evil job. I mean, not only was it dangerous, but you were single-handedly expected to cut a 4-ton block of bare stone out of a blank rock face every day to earn your living.
A 4-ton block,
block
every single day?
Now, you've got to imagine, you've been working like this 14 solid hours, soaked in sweat, you're totally exhausted, you can stop. But you can't go home. Now you stand here shivering, you're waiting for a man called the Tapstone to come. And he carries a hammer. And after all the work you've done, you know when he hits the block of bare stone you've quarried, if it doesn't ring like a bell, doesn't ring true, but gives a dull thud, you'll know the stone is cracked, useless for a mason to carve, so they won't pay you a penny wages for what you've done.
Oh, no. Bears some thinking about the true cost of this stone, doesn't it?
That's right.
The caves and the stories they tell are humbling. and they would have been lost forever if it wasn't for John. How did you become so involved with this quarry?
I first got fascinated when I was a kid. I used to come down here with some of the last of the old boys who worked here. And somewhat later I heard that the quarry company who owned the lease at the time were going to blast the whole place flat. So we managed to stop that happening in an effort to try to preserve it and keep it open so future generations can see what our ancestors did.
Oh, fantastic. So you actually saved this place?
Well, basically, yes. I mean, it came within a few hours of them about to blast the whole place flat.
Wow.
Otherwise, it would all be gone by now.
It's unthinkable that these caves were nearly destroyed. But thanks to John, they're a haunting reminder of the extraordinary efforts that went into quarrying this highly prized stone. I'm back in the fresh air and heading towards the shingle beach of Charmouth. This stretch of coast suffers from constant landslips, and as a result, the coast path has been diverted inland. It's frustrating for walkers, but for fossil hunters like Phil Davidson, the erosion here is a reason to jump for joy. Up here.
Yeah, just found a bit further. What we like is a big storm, because that washes the fossils out of the mudslides, because the fossils are a lot harder than the mud that they've become fossilised in, so they're just washed loose onto the beach.
Why is this such a perfect place for fossils?
Well, it's because of the geology here. You can see that the cliffs behind us are made up of layers. Now, these layers were at the bottom of the sea floor 200 million years ago.
So it's one of the best chances in the country that people will have of finding their own fossils.
Yeah, it's well famous here for finding fossils. One of the best places in the country, if not the world. But you have to know where to look for them, so that's where we're going to go.
Let's go. And it seems to me as a fossil hunter in all of us, I mean, it's entirely natural.
Can you see one there?
No. Oh, yes.
Great big ammonite here.
It's quite hard. No wonder I didn't see him, he's so big.
It's quite hard to see. Sometimes when they're wet, you can see them a little bit better.
Is that right?
So.
Oh, yeah, look at this. And what is this, Phil?
So this is a really big ammonite. So it's one of the spiral-shaped fossils here. These creatures were swimming around underneath the sea and died out when the dinosaurs did 65 million years ago. This bit here is actually where the creature lived inside, like a big squid with its head and tentacles sticking out the end.
So when you're walking along this beach, you need to know a little bit about basic geology as to where to look, I suppose.
Well, definitely, yeah. So it's just on that tide line that you want to look, because it's the sea that churns everything up. Oh. So you only want to look as far as the tide's been. So it's a good place to stop and have a good old rummage.
Right. True to his word, Phil's found us the perfect spot. It's not long before I find my first fossil. Look at that one.
That's perfect. Huh? So that's one of the fool's gold ammonites. That's brilliant.
Wow. I'm not joking. This is a great thing to do.
Some people think that we make them and scatter them on the beaches for people to find just because they're so perfect.
I'm not moving.
Yes.
We've got a little gold mine going on down here.
What better way to spend a sunny day?
Just 1 hour
Yeah.
we've been on this beach. And look at these treasures.
Not a bad haul, is it?
You just need an expert, maybe.
But if you think that we're the first people to see these, they've been hiding on this beach, you know, for 200 million years. So you've got 200 million years of history in your hands there.
Absolutely great. Thank you very much.
That's all right, my pleasure.
Yeah. With my pockets full of fossils, I'm back on the path and heading through the long grasses of West Hay Farm. This is one of the oldest wildflower meadows in the country. The land here at West Hay Farm has been farmed without modern machinery or fertilisers for over 100 years. And as a result, it's just bursting with rare plants and flowers. Of all the species here, the green-winged orchids are the most prolific. They carpet the hillside in purple. It's a beautiful spot to slow the pace and enjoy the scenery. And it's well needed, as I'm about to tackle one of the steepest climbs on the whole path, the mighty Golden Cap. The top of Golden Cap is the highest point on the south coast. But if I've learned one thing walking the southwest coastal path so far, it's wherever there's a hill, there's a killer view in store. There you go. What did I tell you? I'm leaving the heights of Golden Cap and heading across the vast shingle ridge of Chesil Beach. The coast path here runs right beside Abbotsbury Swannery, the only managed colony of mute swans in the world.
You can come straight on in if you like.
I'd love to.
Come and have a close encounter.
Swan herd David Wheeler looks after them. Well, I've never been quite so close to so many swans.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's
an
incredibly
amazing
unique
place.
experience. I mean, how many birds are here?
There's probably close to 600 altogether.
So all these birds are wild.
Absolutely. They're free to go at any time. They're only here because they want to be here.
Swans are protected by the Queen, aren't they?
Yes, the Crown have very special rights over swans, but the truth is the ones that hatch here belong to the owners of the Swannery, and they've been responsible for this all the way back to King Henry VIII.
The swans here are fed 3 times a day. I've arrived at lunchtime, so I'm going to join the waiter service.
A little at a time, just whoosh it around.
As we're feeding the birds, Dave gets wind that a clutch of eggs are hatching. So we hightail it over to the nesting pair. So we could actually see some young ones popping out of the eggs.
It's possible if we need a little bit of luck. She's actually in the process of hatching now.
Is that right?
It is, yes.
How can you tell?
Well, she's holding her wings like an umbrella. She's trying to shelter the young underneath. She's got 8 eggs under her and there's a lot of action there. So it must be quite uncomfortable for her.
I can see one little one.
Yes.
Little grey one. Look,
Yes.
look, there he is.
Yes, indeed.
Boy, that's a beautiful looking chick.
It's the most exciting of times, really. She's been incubating for 35 days and she was due to hatch today and she's bang on time.
This is such a unique experience, Dave. I mean, not everybody gets to see this.
No, indeed. I don't think it's anywhere else that people can be this close to swan's eggs and watch them hatch.
When the chicks are a couple of days old, Dave and his team tag them. Upsetting the parent birds can be a risky business, so Dave works quickly. You made that look pretty easy, Dave.
Went reasonably well, yes.
Look at this, a whole bucket full of signets.
Absolutely, yes. Very cute, aren't they?
Right, what do we do now?
We take them a safe distance away and we'll do the work.
All right, deal. Hello.
We'll pass one to Steve,
Right.
and he'll try to find out if it's a male or a female.
All right.
Female.
That's a female, right?
Yep. Okay, you hold it and Dave
Yep.
will tag it.
Okay. Hello, fella.
I need you to present it to me.
Right.
I need to see, as it's a female, we use the right web.
Right, hang on.
And that's
Get her
good.
the other way around.
And just show me the web, and you might even be able to hold it.
That's the left one.
That's the left, you're right, thank you. Thank you.
There's the right one.
Can you hold that as, that's
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
got it.
Right, if you could twist this way a little, that's good.
How's that?
That's perfect. That's good. That's
Oh yeah,
that one.
beautiful. There you go, number 308.
That goes into there.
There you go.
All done.
All right, Dave.
Done. Good stuff. So now, I'm going to run these
Okay,
back,
mate.
and I'm going to get her to follow them.
All right.
Come see. Okay.
Now, if the signets get lost on the lake, Dave will be able to return them to the safety of their parents. So now, newly tagged, they're going in the water.
Indeed, yes. They're a bit unsteady on their feet, and they'll probably be a little unsteady in the water. They're a bit wobbly the first time in.
But they soon get the hang of it and start to explore their beautiful home for the first time. The Swannery is perched on the edge of the Fleet Lagoon, a 13-mile stretch of water that separates the mainland from Chesil Beach. I'm following the coast path as it traces the lagoon's inner edge and rounds the headland towards Portland and Weymouth. There's one sport here that dominates the horizon. The sheltered waters here at Weymouth and Portland offer some of the finest sailing conditions in the world. And that's why, in 2012, they were selected to host the sailing events for the Olympic and Paralympic Games. It was then that Helena Lucas made history when she became Britain's first ever Paralympic sailing gold medalist. Right, so this is she.
This is it, the
Oh, she looks all
mighty
right.
ship. This isn't what I sail in the Paralympics, but it's a good boat for us for today.
Must be heavier than what you normally sail, Helena.
Well, actually,
She's going to give me a few sailing tips. Well, I must say I'm really looking forward to this. How often does someone like me get to sail with an Olympic gold medalist?
I'm pleased to be able to give you that opportunity, and you know, we do with a little bit more wind today, but I think it should be a nice, pleasant sail out there.
I'm very, very keen to get on the water with you. What do we do next?
I think we'll get this boat in the water, shall
Right.
we?
I've done a fair bit of sailing, but I'm always keen to improve. So Helena's going to teach me a few racing manoeuvres.
Okay, so here we go. So helm going down.
Okay.
Okay, stay, stay, stay. Okay, and move.
Awesome. Oh, caught. Caught on the camera. Okay.
Cool. Should we try it again?
Yeah, let's try again.
Okay, right, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. That's it. Change the sheet. And then we move.
Got it. Yeah, because it helps us round.
Yeah. Basically what we do is we're using the sails to steer the boat, so
Yeah.
I don't have to use that so much.
Which will slow us down.
Which slows us down. It's like a brake.
Hey, that's great. Hey, I've got a racing tip from Helena.
Exactly. Well, you can't come sailing with a gold medalist and not learn, hopefully
You're
learn
telling
something.
me.
Cool, should we have a go at another one?
Yeah, dead right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, so turning the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, do the jib. And now we move.
That's clever.
It's just great to see them having so much fun.
Helena was born without thumbs, but that hasn't held her back. She's been beating Weymouth's champion sailors ever since she was a kid.
It sounds a bit crazy, but in some ways I kind of feel almost sort of fortunate to actually have been born without thumbs, because I don't know any different. As a kid, you know, my mum was told that I wouldn't be able to use scissors and I'd struggle writing. And I don't think there is anything that I can't do. But You'd describe this as an able-body boat, probably. But, you know, I can sail anything.
Sailing works for you, but with your spirit, it would have been anything.
Yeah, who knows, who knows?
Well, it's not the fastest sail in the world, but it is fun.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about sailing, it's never boring. These waters always hold a special place in my heart, as this is where I won my gold medal, so it's always a pleasure for me to be out here.
Well, thanks for sharing it, Elena.
No,
absolutely brilliant.
My pleasure.
I'm leaving the sporting waters of Weymouth behind me and getting back to the path. At White Nothe, the geology changes again as the path roller coasters along sheer white cliffs. Around this part of the coast, most of the limestone has been eroded by the sea. But what remains has formed one of the most famous geological formations in the world. Durdle Door. A popular spot and one of the most photographed sites on the southwest coast path. Well, when in Rome. Durdle Door isn't the only big hitter on this stretch. The perfect horseshoe-shaped bay of Lulworth Cove draws the crowds too. Derry Billings is the ranger here. Well, I can see why it's so popular down here. It is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah, but I mean, for me, the best way to explore it is by getting outside of the busy area, getting out there to see what the unique kind of bit of the Jurassic Coast is all about. Shall we go and have a bit of an explore?
Follow you. Yes,
follow me, let's go.
Look at that, Derry, look.
Yeah, here
Just
we
the
go.
way that's opening up.
Now we come out, and we can see the whole Jurassic Coast.
So what's going on here geologically then?
What I call a soft rock sandwich.
So what's in the sandwich?
So we've got hard layers, so Portland limestone, which is out the front there, famous for building all over the world, really. Then we've got quite resistant chalk at the back, and then 3 softer rocks sandwiched in the middle.
It's the way to remember geology.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it a rock sandwich?
Yeah. So the cove formation has been what I call a coincidence of events. First we had our different rock layers, our sandwich, then we had some uplift, tectonic activity pushing them around. And the final kind of icing on the cake really was when a glacial meltwater river came down through the soft layers and it punched a hole in the hard layers.
So it's the glaciers that opened up the cove.
That's right, then once this was breached, the sea could come in and scoop out our soft layers.
Wow, this is a great place.
Yeah.
Thank
Shall
you.
we keep going then?
Yes, please.
Right, Paul, so coming up to another little spot along the Jurassic Coast here. It's called Stair Hole. To be honest, if you thought the geology back in Lulworth Cove was good, this place is going to absolutely blow your socks off. It's my favourite place along the coastline here.
All right.
Let's have a look.
Pop in there, yes, please.
Yeah, let's go. Now, when we go in, Paul, what I want you to do is look up to your right. That is what we call the Lulworth Crumpel.
Oh, yes. That is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Different layers of rocks, some hard, some soft, that have been uplifted through the same processes that made the Alps and the Pyrenees. That is our answer to the Alps.
The Lulworth Crumple might not be quite as big as the Alps, but the detailed patterns in the rock are stunning.
If you're studying geography and geology, this is the place to be. All of those things you learn at school happening right here. Shall we head off?
Yeah, that way? I've learned so much about this World Heritage coastline, but my next stop marks the end of the Jurassic Coast. These striking formations are known as the Old Harry Rocks. They were once part of a vast chalk ridge that just a few thousand years ago connected this mainland to the Isle of Wight. The pounding waves that hit the shore after the last ice age have polished the cliffs here to a dazzling white and worked away at the soft rock to create arches and sea stacks. They're a final reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our coastline. I'm now on the home straight of my epic walk along the southwest coast path. All that remains is the 2.5 miles of sandy beach here at Studland. I've explored so many incredible places along Britain's longest and finest footpath. From the heights of Exmoor to the golden sands of Porthcurno.
Firing the gun!
From getting hands-on with history.
Oh, fantastic!
To letting off steam.
I'm driving a steam crane.
It's been every bit as beautiful.
Fly, 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 come on.
Wow. Satisfying.
Perfect.
Good effort, Paul, come on.
And fun.
Slide here.
As I could have hoped for.
And you're going to keep on,
Well, here I am, South Haven Point, the official end of the Southwest Coast Path, or start, depending which way you're going. But you know, it's true what they say. A good walk isn't really about the destination, but the journey. And boy, what a journey it's been.